Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde. What a week of training camp that we've had so far. Here to break down the latest news from today, day 4 of training camp with you guys. But wow, summer is flying by. August 1st is Monday, which means that we're 1 month closer, one more day, one more week, whatever you want to do, closer to football. Bears start their preseason against the Kansas City Chiefs on August 13th, so stay tuned for that. But we got updates today on Lucas Patrick's injury, which is worse than we thought, unfortunately. Tough day to be at Butterfingers as a wide receiver. Justin Fields had to shake off a lot of mental games because of the situation as wide receiver, and also the defense was bringing the heat today, being a lot of ball hawks. So, a lot to break down for you guys, but before we hit on that, we'd like to thank today's sponsor, Unbound Coffee Company. Unbound Coffee Company delivers high-end coffee and the best coffee-related t-shirts in the business to your door with free shipping on all orders. And the best part is, for every item sold, they donate $2 to a charity or nonprofit of your choice. Use promo code JAYCHI, Jaychi, for 15% off your first order. And if you sign up with a subscription, you get another 10% off. So you can have 15% off or 25% off your first order at the link in the description. Live Unbound today. So, let's just go through the offense first. A lot more information from them today that I want to bring to you guys about what happened. So let's start with the offensive line. The offensive line to start, big name, obviously, Lucas Patrick has a right hand injury, according to Matt Eberflus. That happened yesterday during practice where he had to leave early, and there is no timely return for that injury. According to Eberflus, he will not disclose what type of injury that is, but it's unfortunate. But that's what, next man up. That's what we got to do. We hope that Lucas Patrick gets better as soon as possible. And I think that he, still is going to be ready in time for the season, hopefully. But we really need him. He brings that really great edge on the run block into the center position and also just that leadership as a whole. But Lucas, we hope you get better as soon as possible and bear down. Cody Whitehair had a Veterans Day off, according to Matt Eberflus. He was at practice, but not training in drills. Teven Jenkins, apparently, we have a little bit more information on him. He woke up with something. That's how Matt Eberflus is putting it yesterday morning. And they're saying it could be an illness or an injury. No one knows. I don't think it's an illness because of, the severity of, what he could have potentially and how the NFL is taking protocol for various illnesses such as COVID-19. I don't think he has COVID. I think that hopefully it's just a massive hangover he got or something, but I'm really praying he doesn't have an injury. If he does, I hope for a speedy recovery, but this guy cannot catch a break. He just had major back surgery last year, was able to play a few games last season, but unfortunately, he still was out today. He was at Halas Hall, but he was not practicing. So I am now starting to enter the concern category for Teven Jenkins. I really hope he gets better. He has a lot of upside, but big yikes as well. And then on top of that, so those 3 guys were out today. That gave the opportunity for the Bear, and Riley Reef is still catching up to speed with the Chicago Bears offense. All 4 draft picks that were chosen by the Chicago Bears ran with the ones today, besides Larry Borum, who started at right tackle. Let's start with the negative of that. The entire line with all the rookies on it struggled big time in the 11 on 11s. We're going to get into that a little bit because the defense had themselves a day. This is one big reason why they struggled, and that's a concern, but they are getting up to the speed of the NFL. It's the 3rd drill practice, 4th practice of the week. They're going to be slow, folks. It's going to be rough to watch, but it's kind of like watching a toddler. This is a new chapter of their life. They're getting up to a new speed of things. They'll be there before you know it. I'm not too worried about it. These guys have a lot of talent. Braxton Jones is beating out guys who have been in the league for multiple years now. I'm not too worried about it, guys. But they did. But here's the positive. This allows Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus, who were spotted really watching the offensive line during these drills. This allows everyone to keep getting in-game action going against, the starters, the better defensive players on the team. And it's going to see what these guys are able to do. So even though they struggled, there's always a positive to every negative. And I really think that, this was the day they're going to go back to their lockers. They're going to be like, hey, I got to bring the heat if I want to make it to this team, and also I'm in the NFL. I have to play at the NFL level, and that's got to be able to compete with those guys. So good to see there. Good to see also depth. The Bears are obviously going to have guys behind the starters. So overall, there was a big positive there and what guys need to work on. Again, now moving to the next subject of the offense is the wide receivers. Butterfingers galore today. Darnell Mooney and Brian Pringle both had bobbles that led up INTs. Not good when your top 2 guys are doing that. But again, folks, it's training camp. Cole Kmet also, unfortunately, gave up an interception. It was a really good read by the defense. I'll get into that in a little bit, but it did lead to an interception. So, but that was the first one out of 3 days of drills that Cole Kmet has struggled. I'm not too worried about it. I don't think he is either. Inquanius St. Brown had himself a day, though. The wide receiver that we picked up in free agency from the Green Bay Packers, who also worked with Luke Getsy, had a very nice touchdown over Kindle Vildor, Kindle Vildor is fighting for a spot on this roster, but also there was a significant size difference. But Kindle Vildor is very athletic. There's no doubt about that. He had a nice touchdown grab over Vildor. And, I got to say this, is that he also battled for a jump ball with Kyler Gordan and won. He went up against the rookie. Don't let the rookie show you up, veteran. Don't let him show you up, big man, biggest wide receiver in the room, or tallest wide receiver in the room, but also good for the rookie of Kyler Gordan getting in there. He had himself a day. We're going to hit on that in a couple of minutes. And then finally, veteran tight end Ryan Griffin, who we picked up in free agency from the New York Jets, had himself a Veterans Day off. So it looks like he's pretty much going to be a good lock for this roster. It seems like Matt Eberflus wants that veteran presence on the roster. I don't blame him. They're paying him money. They're paying him a couple $1 million. Why not just keep him on the roster and give him a day off? Why not? He's earned his stripes in the NFL. To finish off the offense before we go to the defense very quickly is that the play designs for Justin Fields worked out really well today. He had a couple nice runs for first downs where he faked pass and ran it up the field, tricked out the entire defense. So him and Luke Getsy are getting that down, which is great. But overall, there was more like an electric energy to the offensive side of the ball. There were a lot of opportunities where new play designs were seen and they were able to execute. The INTs are going to happen. This is a whole new playbook for everyone, or yes, actually everyone on the offensive side of the ball besides St. Brown, but still it's going to be different for him too. We'd rather have all these little tweaks happen during practice and training camp before any games. So just want to put that out there to calm everyone down. Monty also had a nice couple runs. David Montgomery, also known as Monty, if you guys did not know that, had a nice couple runs today. He had a couple touchdowns. He broke some ankles, looked good overall. Very excited for David Montgomery going forward in camp. Quick last subject I want to hit on quickly is the defense. Kyler Gordan and Jaquan Brisker both had interceptions today. The first two picks of the Chicago Bears in the 2022 NFL draft this year are making a big impact on the defense that we missed last year. I really think that Alan Williams, the new defensive coordinator, is really going to put these guys to the test, and they look good. Brisker read the play very well on Kmet when he saw it was coming. Kmet obviously panicked, bobbled the ball, and ended up in Brisker's hands. And then Kyler Gordan was on an overthrow, but he had to get quite a vertical in order to get that ball. So awesome to see the athleticism of these guys and their second and third round picks. Just want to put that out there. I'm really excited about these two in the backfield. Justin Jones looked like a beast today. He had a sack, not actually sacking the quarterback, but, touching the quarterback today. He did get that against Zach Thomas during those struggling 11 on 11s. But Justin Jones, man, he knows this defense. He knows what he likes. He's looking good, and we're excited for him as well. And then finally, Trevis Gipson looked fast, very fast today. He was in the backfield a lot. Didn't technically get any sacks, but man, he was in the backfield making hell for David Montgomery and Justin Fields, really breaking up some plays and putting on some pressure. So that's today. That's the first week. That's pretty dang awesome, if you ask me. What a week for the Chicago Bears. Very excited about that. So we will have more coming next week. Make sure that you guys stay tuned for that. But with that, thank you very much for joining this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. If you don't hear from me this weekend, have a beautiful weekend, Chicago, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Bear down.